Thank you. Speed. All right, off we go. Hello, I'm Daniel. I don't know really what to make of Swift right now, but what I do like is writing less code, because the less code I write, the less bugs I write, and I write a lot of bugs. So I'm going to talk about automatically sizing your table cells, which is probably a lot of code for iOS 6 and previously, when we were doing it with the old way. Last year we got auto layout, no, well the year before we got auto layout, but we managed to kind of couple it together so that we could butcher it into table cells. And it kind of worked, but kind of didn't. This year, Apple are given to us automatically. So it's a way of automatically calculating the size of the cells before they come on screen. So the idea is that you will provide an estimate to the table view, and they will be automatically calculated with the cell that's about to come on screen. Previously, we kind of had to work out the cell size, and if we wanted to, we'd have like a cell line around, which we'd calculate the size of, and then before that cell, the new cells that came on screen, that will then also be auto laid out. So it's kind of a two-step process, but now it's a one-step process, so it's faster as well. So why would you want to do it? Well, dynamic text is a really good reason. You'd get no more truncated strings. Some random reasons that no one really knows why. And you get to use the same code to calculate the size as you do for actually laying out the code, which means that you get less duplication and less reasons for errors. So these are the 2 lines of code that you currently need. That bottom line of code isn't necessary with iOS 8. You need to put it in if you've got a storyboard which is also compatible with iOS 7. But obviously you need to wrap that in an iOSDev a check to make sure that you can do automatic sizing yourselves. So a brief note to what auto layout actually is. It constrains some view to a given frame. So if this is our ideal world, but our frame is smaller, then actually this is going to get constrained in this way. The arrows are constraints here. Auto sizing kind of flips this on the head. You provide it a cell with all the constraints, and the content expands the cell so that it gives you a frame to put it in. It gives you a size that it wants, and that's kind of its ideal size. One thing to note is that these labels and other views have an intrinsic content size, and that's what's used to calculate what size they would like to be. That's not a lot of time on that. That'll give you the height and width. So how do you size? Well, with cells it's quite tricky. If you have a multi-line label, you need to set the preferred max width of the label. This is all a bit backwards. You were given a fitting size, and technically on the current iPhone it will give you a width of 320, so you can use that to calculate the preferred max width for the label. If you've got a storyboard with a cell like this, and you've got constraints, you'll need to constrain the label at the top and the bottom as well. And then if you've got any accessories, they all get insetted. So that's the content view here, and that's the cell. So when you're actually sizing, this is the kind of code that I've had to write inside a cell class to get it working with a multi-line label. So at the top, we're working out the difference between the actual cell width and the content, which is where the accessories get put. We're getting all the margins from the left and the right side, and the best way I found of doing that is to have an IB outlet collection, calculate all of the sum of all the constants, which is all the widths, which means you can add in images with a certain width and add those in as constraints as well. Once you've got that, you calculate the max width, set the preferred max width layout on the label. Don't forget to invalidate the label's intrinsic content size, which clears the cache for that. And then call super on yourself, which is the cell. And if you do that, you'll have perfect auto-sizing cells when you've got labels. guarantee it. That's been my talk. Thank you very much.